APP is sort of a molecular Lego piece in our neurons. When it's hydrolyzed, a fancy way of saying is broken down, it can produce fragments that are involved in brain health and unfortunately sometimes in neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's. Our brains have some pretty nifty neuroprotective strategies. One of these involves signaling pathways, the brain's messengers or internet servers. Two major ones are the RAS and PK-ERK pathway and the PI3K-AKT-mTOR pathway. These pathways help control everything from cell growth to survival and even synaptic plasticity. There's a protein called ARC that gets expressed in response to neural activity. ARC is like the brain's way of rewiring itself, strengthening or weakening connections as needed. Ever wonder how neurons turn signals into action? Well, one key player is a cyclic adenosine monophosphate, or CAMP. CAMP is a tiny messenger that carries important instructions inside cells. When CAMP levels rise, it activates protein kinase 2, which then leads to correct phosphorylation, a crucial step in turning on genes. What kickstarts all of this? Interadenylate cyclase, the enzyme that produces CAMP from ATP, the energy currency of the cell. When neurons detect neurotrophins, special growth factors, they trigger these pathways for neurogenesis or the birth of new neurons, especially in vital areas like the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub. The hippocampus, along with regions like the amygdala, nucleus accumbens, and the cerebral cortex, form the limbic system, our emotional and memory processing center. These areas exhibit functional plasticity, meaning they can change and adapt over time, which is essential for learning and recovery after injuries such as cerebral ischemia, a temporary blood supply cut, which can cause neurotoxicity if not managed. But our brain isn't just about growth, it also faces challenges like neurodegenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, Huntington's, ALS, and frontotemporal dementia. These conditions often involve genetic mutations that disrupt normal protein functions, leading to cognitive impairments, motor difficulties, and speech problems. For example, in Parkinson's, dopamine D2 receptors in the basal forebrain and other regions are affected, impacting movement and motivation. On the motor side, disorders like spinocerebellar ataxia and the congenital spastic paraplegia can mess with motor abilities leading to ataxia, uncoordinated movements, and muscle stiffness. Some of these issues also affect respiratory functions and autonomic functions, which regulate things like blood pressure and digestion. All in all, our nervous system is a complex, dynamic network, constantly adapting and responding to internal and external stimuli. From the tiniest protein and signaling pathways to large-scale neuroanatomical structure, everything works together to keep us functioning, learning, and living our best life. Remember, even when faced with challenges, our brain's ability to adapt and its plasticity is truly remarkable. Thanks for joining the wild tour of the brain's wonders.